Welcome back to our channel.
Hello guys, what's up? It is spring, it is warm in Seoul.
Finally! We've suffered anyway.
We have suffered, it's better now, but
we're not here for the weather. We're not here for the weather.
But I mean, by the title, you know exactly that, we're coming in as messengers of the foolery that has been happening lately. So how do I even introduce this story, yeah?
Basically, I think to me, the main point of this story is that if I have to, summarize in one sentence, do not trust green flags.
Yeah, it's not foolproof or bulletproof. It's not none of those things. And also there's this big conversation about red flags and stuff, especially when it comes to dating in Korea, because obviously we have a different culture than most people here. So people have been like, since I've been single, people have been giving me all kinds of advice. Like, if he does this, it's a green flag. If he does that, it's a red flag, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just here to tell you a story that will just basically tell you, like, at this point, like, follow your guts, because literally green flags will have you played.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't know, maybe they cracked the code, so they heard all the green flags and now they just use it to their advantage, but something is not giving anyway.
So yeah, we're gonna get into it. And so yeah, this story is basically gonna be in two parts, just the actual story and then our little bit of social commentary about the dating life here. Is the ghetto, is the trenches. So that's the bottom line. Anyway, let's get into it. Oh my god. Like literally, since I've been single, I've been dating around here and there, and I've met different types of people. But obviously, because nothing has really panned out so far, is because I was looking at all these red flags and I was just like, oh my god, I can't talk to this guy anymore because he did this or he said this, meaning he's probably a bad guy. Like, I was doing that and I thought I was in my bag. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing. I was like, I'm a pro at this. You all move along. Like, I know what I'm doing. But this goes back like to almost a year prior, so it's been a while, so now I can tell the story without being in my feelings, because I've been in my feelings for a while. Last summer, we went to a pool party. She was there and we were another friend, and we went to this pool and there was like a couple of guys there, and there's not that many people because it was like, I think it was on a weekday.
Yeah.
Anyway, there weren't that many people, and there was these two guys, and obviously we're looking all at each other like, oh, hey, hi, I guess we're in the same vicinity. And you could tell like they were in the entertainment industry because they're really good looking, like body right, tattoos, blah, 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 luxury car, whatever. And we didn't really pay them any mind until like towards the end of the day, when one of them actually came over and like sat down next to us. And he's just like started talking to me. So obviously I had a boyfriend at that time, so my first thing was like, you need to mention your boyfriend immediately, because obviously it's kind of rude to be like, I have a boyfriend. But when somebody is showing you interest, then you can't. I didn't want to go too far, so I just waited and I was like, oh really, well my boyfriend does this. And he was just like, okay, caught the hint, and left me alone. We did exchange Instagram, all of us, not just me. And yeah, we were just Instagram friends, but we never really talked or interacted at all. So fast forward 6 months later, when I already broke up with my boyfriend, and I see him on Instagram, and obviously he's like a good looking guy, he's pretty cool. I mean, this is my type.
Yeah, okay.
That's the thing. He was like really my type. She didn't think he was like, she thought he looked like a bad guy, like basically.
He did. He really did.
And I was just like, well, that's the point.
So dumb.
So stupid. Like literally I was just like, yeah, that's like the bad boy, blah blah blah, but he seems nice. And we were talking and he was nice or whatever. Anyways, gave me his number and I was like, okay, bet. I'm single now, I can do whatever I want. So we were talking or whatever, and this is where it kind of started. Now obviously now these green flags are just flags to me. Like, I don't care anymore, but at the time I thought these were good. So first green flags, communication. This guy was all over he was blowing up my phone like all the time. And I'm not talking about like I'm just pretending not to care and he's just like calling me. No, we were just talking and the conversation was flowing really well, and he would ask me all these questions. One red flag that I used to say a lot was like, oh, if he's not like curious about me and like what I like to do in my hobbies, he probably doesn't care like about me as a person. But he was like saying all the right things and asking all the right questions. So I was like, oh my god, like he likes me. So that was green flag number 1, right? The second green flag was that he would like take me out to this like a nice, really nice places, but not necessarily at night, like not for drinks. And he didn't drink alcohol. So I was like, oh my god, he doesn't even drink, like he's like into health or whatever. He took really great care of his body, etc. And so the first time he asked me out was to go to this like tea place, really fancy, very nice place. He did ask me out for dinner first, but I had plans prior and I thought he was just gonna like give up, because you know, red flag is when he only wants to take you out at night. But he was like, no, let's go have some tea. I was like,
some tea?
So wholesome.
I'm a lady, I deserve some tea.
So we went out the first time and conversation was just really great. Like it was so nice. Obviously now that I look back, I just feel stupid. But at that time I was just like, oh my god, the conversation is so good, whatever.
But even if you think about it, well, you'll see at the end of the story, but if the conversation is good, the conversation is good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing anyway.
Yeah,
so
it shouldn't be like something that makes you feel stupid.
Yeah, it's not. It's a good thing to have. But anyway.
So yeah, so we did that, and then when he came to pick me up to go to the tea place, he actually like pulled out like a bag of pastries. Now I never really mentioned I like pastries, but those were like my favorite. So obviously I don't think he did it intentionally. I think he just went to buy pastries and gave them to me. I don't know, it was weird. But in the moment you're like, oh my god, that's so sweet, and it came in like this really cute box, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute, whatever. Ugh, whatever, that doesn't mean anything. So that was the first like interaction that we had like face to face. So we had a really good conversation, and then he dropped me back off to where I had my plans with my friends. So anyways, fast forward, have a good fun, and we're still texting and everything. And then the next day, he obviously texts me like, good morning, whatever, and like he's like, hey, do you want to go out for lunch? And I'm like, already?
Yeah.
Like, you want to see me again like that soon? Okay, well, sure. And yeah, same. Went there, had a great lunch in this really nice place. He and me, if I go out with you multiple times, I will always offer to pay the second time. Like you pay, I pay, you pay, I pay. He never let me do that. He was always like
really?
he was always such a gentleman. So I insisted and paid for like the tea after, but for the restaurant, like he didn't let me. So anyways, we had like a really good conversation. And just to say, like, this usually I don't really care about like how they deal with money, but here it means something in Korea. So if the guy is like spending time and money on you, it means he likes you, whatever. The green flag number 3. Yeah, right. So that was one of those, and we were having good conversation. 4th green flag. I feel like a lot of people say here that Korean men, when they're just in here for a hookup or anything, they don't really open up on their personal life or on their past or stuff about their family. Like, they're not trying to have you know stuff about them. Almost like they don't want you to find them afterwards, you know, if they do something, right? So yeah, like,
so criminal.
Yeah, it's so weird, but I heard it was a thing. So I was also like on my red flag shit, like, oh, I should see if he's open, da da da. This man was telling me about everything, and he's in entertainment, so he was showing me all his previous works. He was showing me like old ass pictures, even articles about him and his girlfriend at the time. Like, he didn't care, like he wasn't hiding anything. Talked to me about his family. This man showed me his like siblings' baby pictures and everything, his mom, his like everything, and I was just like, oh my god, that's so sweet. Like, we're having such a like open conversation, so cute. And he would make comments like, oh, well, you look just like your mom. Like, oh, I would love to meet her. Like, oh my god, like if I meet your brother, I'm gonna do this. And I was just like, oh my god, he's like thinking about the future.
Family, wants to meet the family.
Which is known to be a green flag out here. Okay. Anywho, he had to go on a business trip. So he went to whatever country he was going to, and we were still talking, still texting all day, etc. And I mentioned that I caught a cold. I just had like, my throat was bad, like I was sick anyways. And I said that, and literally in the next day or next couple of days, I go to my house and he had like fruits delivered at my door. And I was just like, okay. Usually like when you text and call and everything, like, yeah, that's like a regular flirting situation. But when you start like showing like, oh, I'm worried about you, like here's some fruit, and he told me like, yeah, have some vitamin C or whatever. I obviously start thinking, oh my god, like that's so sweet that he really cares about me. Honestly, that's what I thought. Maybe I don't know, Gen Z out there, let me know if it means nothing. I don't know, because for me it meant something. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute, like thank you, that's so sweet.
Like you care, basically.
Like you give a fuck. I just have a cold, like I'm not dying.
Yeah.
So like for you to do all that, I was like, oh my god, that's so sweet. Okay, so I'm thinking everything is fine. He's going to this business thing, and obviously you will assume a person is busy, so it's not like I was expecting to like talk to him all the time. This man will FaceTime me every time he would get like, every time they would finish what they were doing. Instead of going out and drinking with his colleagues, he would go back to his hotel room by himself and FaceTime me for like hours.
To me, that is the most insane of the points. Who does that?
So like, I'm thinking, green flag.
Yeah, who does that? Like literally, even if you're already in a relationship or something,
even I don't do that. I don't do that, and I'm
over there doing stuff, and I'm gonna take my time to call you to talk about random stuff. No, I don't think so. Interesting. For
hours, or just call, but one or the other, right? And at some point, even I had to be like, oh no, just go to your dinner, and like we cut it short. But still, he would be like, no, just 5 more minutes. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so cute. And I was starting to actually really like him. I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet. Like maybe this is like the beginning of something, right? And I'm thinking he checked all the boxes. Like he's not hiding anything. He's talking to me about a bunch of things. He calls me all the time. He sends me like random like expensive ass fruit. You know how freaking expensive fruit is in Korea? The fuck? Like to my door, and just tells me like, oh, I'm worried about you. Like I'm just like, this could be like the beginning of something. And I was really happy because the only other person who treated me like this was my ex, and we had been together for like almost like 2 years and a half, 2.5. So I'm thinking, oh, this could be like a new relationship, right? Okay. Yeah. He comes back to town after his trip. And mind you, we have been talking the whole time.
By this time, how long has it been? After when
like 2 weeks, I guess, of talking. Yeah. So he comes back and immediately he's like, hey, let's meet, like, let's go. He invites me to like this camping trip. And I'm like, huh? Okay. And apparently it's with all his best friends or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you want to introduce me to your friends? Like, I didn't say anything, but in my head, usually, again, that's like one of the green flags that everybody talks about. Like, oh, if they introduce you to their close friends, it means you're here to stay. Like, at this point, like, am I crazy? Am I the crazy one? Somebody tell me. Because I don't think that's crazy, right? So I'm like, oh, are you sure? Like, isn't it like kind of awkward for you? He was like, no, like, just come, I'll introduce you to everybody. So he does. We have a great time. This is where the shit goes left, right? I go to the camping trip. It's like super nice. It's super cute. Like we just talk and eat and drink and blah, blah, blah. We all fall asleep. Like we had like 2 big vans and we all fall asleep over there. So obviously nothing crazy happened. But before we went to sleep, obviously we had like some things to drink and stuff like that. And when we said like good night and he came to hug me, we kissed, right? So I'm like, oh my god, sparks are flying. And the thing that I will call like the 6th green flag was that usually they tell you like, oh, if a guy is like too quick to like try to touch you or anything like on your body, it's like a red flag, da da da. But if he doesn't and he's like respectful, it's a good thing. So I'm looking at this man and we're like kissing, right? But he doesn't really try to do anything funny, and he basically proceeds to like kiss me on my forehead, my eyes, my cheeks, everywhere, like on my face. And just telling me how cute I am. Like, it's just like so much like cutesy shit and like romantic shit. In the moment, I'm like, oh my god, that's it. Like, we're together. Like,
3 kids
in my head. Like, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is even going on? And so we spent that day camping, and while we were driving around, like going to pick up stuff and stuff, he tells me at some point like, oh, look in the back of the car. And I'm like, what? Like, what? And I'm looking in the back, and he's like, oh yeah, I bought this on my trip. Like, I thought maybe we can use it as like a couple items. And you have to know that in Korea, couples, like their characteristic is to wear like the same clothing or the same accessories. And he bought 2 similar hats, like one for a boy and one for a girl. And he was like, oh yeah, this one is yours. And I was like, couple items? Are you sure? He was like, yeah, like I think that it'll be so cute. And when we go on vacation to Thailand, yeah, he was like, yeah, when we go on vacation to Thailand, because he was supposed to go to a business trip, and he was like, yeah, when we go to Thailand, we can wear this. So I'm like, oh my god, so sweet, whatever. And the whole time, these are the kinds of conversation we're having. When we go on vacation there. Oh, when you meet my family, when I meet your mom.
Basically just talking about the future all the time.
And asking me, oh, do you want a guy who's like family oriented? And like, if you get married, do you want this? Like, what do you prefer? Do you want to live together before you get married? Like, just asking me stuff as if he was making plans. So I'm like, what could go wrong? Okay. Camping trip is done, and he's supposed to drop me off. He's like, oh, do you want to go have lunch? And I'm like, you just spent 2 days straight with me. Like, don't you want to rest? In my head, I'm not saying anything. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And I'm thinking, oh my god, so sweet. Like, he wants to spend time with me. And in my head, I'm thinking all these like love stories on YouTube where they're like, oh yeah, we met and then we never left each other's side. We're always together. And I was like, oh my god, is this one of those? Like, I was just like so cute. So we go to lunch. Cool. We finish lunch and he's like, oh, what should we have for dinner later?
The whole day?
What? And so at that point, that's when I started kind of thinking love bombing. I did start thinking it, really? But I was just like, you're being paranoid. That's not it. But in my head, I was like, ooh,
It's a bit much, yeah? It's a bit much,
okay, but since you like the guy, you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna stop it all. You're like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy it, right? So we literally spend the day together, and then we go to this like a random place for dinner. After dinner, he's like, hey, you want to hit the gym together? And he used to have a gym, so he knows the like owner there or whatever. So he went there when it was like almost closed, and we were just like there for like an hour, just like working out, putting on music. He introduces me to the staff and everything. I'm thinking, wow, like this is crazy. Like what is going on, right? And I'm so like happy because I really like this guy at that point. So mind you, this is just 2 days.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a packed 2 days, huh?
And after the gym, he's like, oh yeah, do you want to come over? So obviously in my head, I'm like, we know what that means. Like, I know what you're trying to do, but you know, I was just like, I like you and we're pretty much dating. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, there is no issue. So I go to this house and this man keeps surprising me, yeah? I go to this house, I'm taking a shower, I come out in my pajamas and stuff, and this man makes me like a drink, like a ginger, like lemon whatever drink for my throat, because at that time I still have a cold. And he's like, hey, drink this, I know you're feeling sick or whatever. And I'm like, oh my god, so sweet. Like, I'm thinking this man is like in love with me, darling. I'm like, oh my god, husband, like I'm happy to see my husband. I'm thinking this is so cute. And then we go to bed, right? Brush our teeth, go to bed. This man did not try to like, I was like, he's gonna probably like try to do something. He did not do that. The man cuddled me to sleep. I'm like, oh my god, this is like so cute, whatever. So cute. So cute.
So cute.
So, this is where shit goes left again, right? Because first it went left in my head, but not in the reality of things, yeah? So, fast forward the next day, he's getting ready to go to work and he's like, hey, I'm going to work early, but you stay here, like you do whatever, get a massage. He lives in like a really fancy building or whatever. He's like, get a massage, just stay how much you want, blah, blah, blah. And me in my head, I'm like, all right, that's cute, but I gotta go. Like I have shit to do. Like I'm not your stay-at-home girl. But I thought that was so cute. Yeah, I was like, that's like the cutest thing ever. And I was so cute. And he kissed me before he left. Like he actually kissed me before he left. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so cute. I go to my house. I just do all the shit I have to do. I text him my, you know, oh, I arrived safely or whatever, da 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 da. And the next day, he texts me good morning. So I'm like, oh, good morning, did you sleep well? He replies like 2 hours later. That was the first time. 2 hours later. Again, my senses are like ding 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 ding, but obviously I'm not listening. I'm blinded. I see pink everywhere. I'm not listening to my freaking senses. And he's just like taking so much time to respond that honestly, me, I have like a trauma for that, and I just cannot be with someone who's like unavailable. I can't. Like, I'm not saying you have to text me all day, but when you start making me feel like I'm bothering you, I can't do it, right? So that one thing that saved me is that I didn't even wait. I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm translating from Korean, but I'm like, so do you actually intend to like be in a relationship with me? Because mind you, one of the big red flags that people keep telling you is that if a guy doesn't expressly tell you, even especially after you kissed, if you kissed and he doesn't tell you something along the lines of, hey, so should we date now? Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? If they don't tell you this, you need to go. Because they're not gonna tell you. And it means that they're just trying to do like the situationship thing. And that's what the vibe I was feeling. And I was like, nah, no way. Because everything he just did, like there is no way he's trying to do a situationship. There's no way. And I'm like, hey, so do you have any, like, do you plan, like, are we gonna do something? Like, is this gonna go somewhere? And he takes like hella long to reply to me. And then he replies with like this long of a paragraph, right? Telling me, hey V, like...
No, first he told you.
Oh no, he was like, I'm driving, I'm in the car,
like,
I'll text you back. And I was like, okay, I know what that means. Because he never did that before, like, please. Like, I know you're not supposed to text and drive, but come on. He could be like, oh yeah, let's be together. That's like a line. Yeah, but he had time to be like, hey baby, I'm in the car. I was like,
what do you want to say? What are you trying to say? Why it's so long for you you cannot say in one sentence?
Yeah, before he even said anything, I was like, alright, okay, okay. And it was like, in that moment, I wasn't even mad or anything. I was kind of like numb, because I was like, okay, well, obviously this is what happened. It's either he's thinking, I'm just gonna keep like having fun with her and I'm not gonna do anything. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but he was just like, yeah, you know, I just got out of a relationship. I don't know if I'm ready for like a serious relationship anymore.
That's some psychopath bullshit this. I'm sorry. You go from like literally being like, I'm planning my future with you to, oh wait, I can't be in a relationship actually. What?
I saw the text and I was just like, okay, well, have a good life. And that was it. And he didn't even respond. You think that somebody who likes you... Yeah, he never responded.
I thought you blocked him.
I didn't block him at all. I didn't block him. I don't block. Like, I tell you how it is. Like, alright, have a nice life. Because I'm not doing the whole situation today. I don't know if you were thinking we were just gonna like have fun physically and then not do anything, but now that I asked you for real, like, what are we doing? Now you want to backtrack. Okay.
So my question, okay, that the story is over, done?
Yeah, let's get into the commentary, man.
What the hell is wrong with people? Because why would you invest so much time, energy, resources
and money
into something that you don't think is going to amount to anything? I don't understand.
I mean, for me, this is what I think. If you have money, it doesn't mean anything.
But time.
Yeah, I guess.
He has time to call you every night, to FaceTime you. You don't have anything else to do?
Yeah, literally, he could. For me, I would have respected him more if he was just like, hey, from the get-go, I'm not ready for anything. And then if we keep flirting, if I keep responding to his flirting, then he can assume I'm okay with it. You
waste your time. You invest. It's not even waste. You invest your time.
And you waste mine.
You waste people's time. You pretend that you have like this idea, like this plan in your head for like, what?
Did you actually think I was just gonna be like your stay-at-home what then? Like I was just gonna hang out at your house until when? Like and as what? Like no. What do you mean? What do you mean?
And why would you leave so easily then? Like literally.
Also, this man is stupid because if I was a thief, I would have taken everything in your house.
If you were a thief, if you were salty and you want, because now you know how his life, no? He told you everything.
If I was salty and I was one of those kinds of girls that expose people and stuff, like you would be out there.
Sure.
But yeah.
And so there is this, like, you have people having this experience and you have also people having the experience when they meet with somebody that is super, super duper nice with them. Like the whole thing again, green flags all the way. Then they have what they want, so they spend the night together, yeah? And then
the next day
they disappear.
That's the worst because that's everybody. That's in every country. But here the worst part is that they make this effort to be the... Who the hell talking to me?
Was it? Somebody interesting?
No! Boring! Oh, well, it is interesting. This is about my money. That happens everywhere. This whole thing of getting what you want and everything. But here they make a point to like prove to you that they're basically Prince Charming.
Because they don't want to be the bad guys.
Yes, people here are terrified of having a bad reputation. That's like the biggest thing. That's why ghosting is so prevalent, because they would rather just disappear than telling you, sorry, I'm not interested. They would just ghost you, and it happens so much. And second, this is why a lot of relationships in Korea are extremely short, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, which for me is like, what? That's so weird.
Yeah.
As an adult, how do you spend do you not know who you're dating? But that's exactly the point. Like they will literally ask you out and tell you, you want to be my girlfriend, and then you have sex with them, and they just ghost you. So
because hookup culture is not a thing.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
So they will have to have you as a girlfriend for you to accept to sleep with them.
Officially. Yeah.
So that's why they will ask, sorry sir, trying to speak out there the truth. I'm trying to tell the people
there's
what is up here.
So sorry, there's construction, sorry. If you hear something, that's why.
They will have to make it official before they can do anything, so they will make it official very fast. So like the I love yous and the like lesbian girlfriend and boyfriend are like they're coming up
it happens
fast
so much
because they want what they want, and to get that, well, they have to do the whole shebang first. But to me, what is it crazy is like the amount of foolishness this man was ready to
like
do.
all the extra shit that you did not need to do.
Have to do
honestly, if I like you and I'm attracted to you, and I'm a grown woman, you don't need to like spend money on me. You don't really need to send me stuff. You don't really need to buy couple items that we will never wear. You don't need to, like, I'm thinking this man just has the items in his back of the car, and every time a new girl comes in, he's like, hey, I bought this on my trip. I think this is it.
No, but that's insane. Also, another point, so that was the first commentary, like, why would guy go so far to get the littlest of things, like, just, they want to present themselves in such a light.
For 5 minutes of pleasure.
Please. So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about age, because we didn't mention this, but this guy was
almost 40.
Almost 40, so he was older, way older than her. And to me, since the beginning, that was the biggest of red flags. That was the reason why I didn't like that guy. It was because he was too old. The thing is, I used to not think like this when I'm back in France or in the West. I don't care really about age. Once you pass a certain age gap doesn't really matter anyway. It depends. If it's like 40 years age gap, I'm like, calm down.
But we don't really care about age like that.
Like, as long as you're in the same mental space, to me, that's fine. It's fine. However, here in Korea, what I noticed from, not my personal experience, but from people's experience, is that once guys specifically, or maybe girls too, I don't know about girls, I just on the guy side, but once guys...
Because girls have specific reasons.
Yeah, once guys go over 35, 36, and they're still willingly single, or they're just having fun, or they just like, I don't want to get married now. Basically, to me, that means that they don't want to get married at all.
It's a choice, and it's not really gonna change, or maybe it's gonna change, but it's very rare that it changes.
And the reason why I believe this is because Korea is one of those countries where what people think and how people live their life impacts a lot your life. So in here, you're gonna be like, past 35 is the point where people are expected to be married at the latest, basically. So all the people around you, they're gonna start like thinking about marriage life at 32, 33, then they have to date a bit, and then they get married at 35 maximum, you know. So if after 35 you're still not in that headspace, that means basically you don't want to, because you haven't been affected by the whole pressure, the societal pressure up until then. You're out of this, basically, and you don't care about what people think, and you don't want it.
So when they're like, oh, I'm not sure, oh, maybe da-da-da, I've made the mistake to believe it once, and I wasted a lot of time. So I think that was what she was scared of, especially when I met a guy of the same age who would, who's still kind of like having fun, and she was like, he's not gonna take you seriously, and I was like, well, I don't know that, blah 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 blah.
And then he does all the thing, and you're like, oh, maybe it's different. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
you're
different.
like, oh, maybe it's so different. No, he's not.
It's not different.
This man, no, that's too much detail. I don't know, but let me not. I want to expose him so freaking bad, but I'm not that kind of person.
Curious. What do you say?
He also anyway, put like a beep. Too much detail. But anyways, that's just to say, like, for me, I don't know about other people's experience. I'm just talking about anybody who's kind of like same age as me, we're the same demographic. When you come here, and I'm not saying you're coming here to date, but I'm just saying you're gonna date. Like, if you're like, you're gonna date, just be careful. But for me, I would personally advise to stop listening to the list of red and green flags, because literally doesn't mean anything.
Just like, I don't even know what you have to do then. Just listen to what
your guts,
how you feel about. But even the guts, they can be like,
well, when I had the guts, because I didn't think of anything until the minute he started acting funny, and I could have just be like, oh, it's just my guts, I'm just being traumatized, let me give him some time, and then what, I would have made even bigger of a mistake.
I mean, up until the 2-3 weeks, you couldn't know, because he's doing all the right things at the
this is what I'm thinking at that point. Since I didn't really have a gut feeling or anything, what did I have? Yes, it did waste my time, but at the same time, I had fun. I met new people. I had free meals every day, like cocktails, whatever. That's what I tried to make it into the positive. Obviously, I was pissed because I feel like I wasted my damn time. Like you waste my time. You're just lying through your teeth the whole entire time.
That's some psycho.
That's some psycho shit. But for me, that's the only thing I got from it is like at least I listened to my guts, and when I did, it saved me because I don't have to deal with you anymore.
Once you have the gut feeling, don't go to like, oh, but he did this. No.
That doesn't mean anything.
Showing the real colors now. Listen to the now,
Please, like, ooh, terrible. That shit pissed me off. So yeah, I think that's my only advice. Like, stop listening to advice. Like even mine, it's like it has to be from your like. The feeling is like every single time my feelings was a bit weird, I was right. Every time. No matter what people were telling me outside, like, oh, you should do this. Well, it's a red flag. Oh, it's a green flag. Red flags usually, it makes sense because, you know, it's like things that have been studied and stuff. But even green flags don't mean shit here. They don't mean anything. You can
lie. They're very good liars is the thing.
Ooh, I have some tea about that. Remind me. It'll be off the record. But I got some tea, honey. So yeah. That was a
traumatic event.
Slightly traumatic, slightly sad, but I guess if I can use this to help anybody out there, I'll do it.
Sacrifice myself.
If I meet another psycho like this, I'll let you guys know. I hope not.
Be safe out there, people.
Be safe in them streets.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Alright, so the tea.
The tea. Bye.
Bye.